So, 2021, we have made it. I think I said that last time on my when we talk about the data piece. We've started off with a blast already. As we all know, we've seen what happened on Capitol Hill. We're still in this distance learning piece. We're still in this, how we educating our students through a pandemic. But I know this, we're strong, we're intelligent, we know how to persevere, and no matter how many obstacles that are thrown at us, we will have success. We are built for this. We were created for this time to have success for our students, to make sure that we're putting them in the right position so that they can lead the country in a bias-free, racist-free, I believe everybody deserves a quality of life society. And that's what we're preparing them for. And you are the right person for the job. So, welcome back. If you don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Mark Abraham. I'm the president and CEO of MEA Consulting Services, LLC. We are one of the fastest growing consulting companies in the country. We specialize in training school leaders to lead with the primary focus on increasing graduation rates for young men of color. It is my belief, it is my, visceral belief that young men of color can graduate high school at 80, 90, and 100%. It is possible. I'm living proof that it's possible. I've lived it as a young black male growing up in urban education and going through, what we might call inner city schools. And as a principal, I took my graduation rate for my young men of color, one of the largest urban schools in the second largest urban district in the state of New York, to 80, 90% graduation rate. And I've researched it. I also have a book that is coming out soon that we talk about strategies that we have looked at and examined to demonstrate that young men of color, they can graduate at 80, 90, and 100%. It is possible. So if you're watching this, I want to say thank you. I want to say I appreciate you. My heart goes out to all the educators. I got the podium here, but anybody who has seen me speak or watched me at all, I'm going to be moving all around this thing. And because we have a camera in here, I got to make sure that I'm, boxed in this spot. So I'm going to do my best to stay here so that we could get this on video. My videographer team won't be mad at me. So, what are we talking about today? In a pandemic, in distance learning for some, how do we create a high-performing culture? Because people are asking me, well, Dr. Abraham, I hear you talk about black males, but we're in a pandemic. What about technology? What about it? What about kids are not turning on their camera? What about it? What about, listen, folks, let me say this. There are some things that are universal with running schools. And there's some things that are universal with running any organization. And I'll be honest, one of the biggest things you have to know about is how do you create a high-performing culture in your building? How do you create a culture that says every student deserves a quality education? And principals, assistant principals, superintendents, that is our job. That role belongs to you. Teachers have to teach, principals have to lead though. We need principals leading. We need you to make sure that you're creating an environment that says we're going to have success every single time. Every single student deserves a quality education. So mind you, I talk about how to increase graduation rates for young men of color. That is my passion. That is my why. That might not be your why, right? Like, and I'm okay with that, right? Like, you might be like, Doc, I just want to, run a good school. Well, I don't want any fights to break out. I just want to, be good. Okay, cool. Your why might be, hey, I had a bad teacher in my life, and I vowed that I don't want any more bad teachers out in the world, so I was going to be a better teacher. Right. Your why might be, I love education, and education always came easy. Whatever your why is, right? That's what your why is. That's what drives your work. You have to know that. That the onus is on you to have that information. Now, my why is, how do we increase graduation rates for young men of color? That's my why. That's what drives me and wakes me up every day. That gets me energy. Even when I'm tired and I don't want to give a speech, it gives me energy when I talk about this. I get fired up when I have to talk about this. If your why does not do that for you, then that might not be your why. If you don't get really, really excited about your why, like if you're not like, whoo, this is what I wake up for, even when you're tired, if you're not excited about your why, that might not be your why. You might have to dig a little deeper within yourself and say, hey, why am I here? And you might even have to tell yourself, or you might even have to look in the mirror and say, hey, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I got an education because my mom did it and my dad did it, so then it was just natural for me to be here. But life is too short. We've seen over 350,000 people die from this pandemic. 350,000 people. They woke up one day and then they caught an invisible disease. They didn't know what was going to happen, and bam, they died. No treatment, no medicine, nothing out there for them. They're gone. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because if you are in education right now, it is a very, very difficult time to be in education. Being an educator is very, very tough. It's very, very tough. It tests everything on the inside of you. If you're in education right now and the kids are not your main focus and your main priority, if seeing students graduate and perform high on tests and exams and be model citizens and be productive, if your why is not the children and to create a better America for the future, if your why is not anywhere in that vicinity, you might want to say, maybe this is not for me. Right? So why live one more day doing something that does not get you excited? Why spend one more day doing something that does not get you fired up? Like that you don't love doing, because once you find what you love doing, it's no longer work. It's no longer work. It doesn't become a job anymore. It becomes something that's a calling, and something that you're passionate about, something that you get up and say, this is who God created me to be. I'm a principal because this is who God created me to be. I'm supposed to lead. I'm a teacher because this is who God created me to be. Not this whole notion that if you can't, you teach. Not this whole, I couldn't find a job, so I became a teacher. Not this whole, I'm just waiting my time in the urban school until the suburban schools jobs open up so I can get me one of them good jobs. Oh, hey, listen, I'm coming down your block, I tell you that. If you're not passionate about this, please, my girl, who my girl? My girl Beyonce said it to the best, to the left, to the left. It's time for you to leave. Because we need people that are passionate, that care about the kids, that love the kids, to make sure that they're going to be successful. So principals, you got to know your why. You just heard me talk about how do you create a high-performing culture in spite of a pandemic. Principals, if you want to purchase, or school leaders, if you want to purchase this entire video, please email me below. It's only $10. We'll get the entire video out to you. Secondly, we have a 10-week coaching session where we go through a cohort model and we give you all the strategies necessary for your school to be successful. And lastly, if you want to be a part of the one-on-one sessions where my team and I come into your school and we look at your data specifically for your school and what you have going on, we would love to do that and make sure that we help you take your school from where you are now to where you ultimately want to go. Again, this is Dr. Mark Abraham, President and CEO of MEA Consultant Services LLC. Until next time, have a great day.